For the past 25 years, you have not only been my wife and mother of my children, you have been my best friend. Minutes ago, whispers about Michelle Obama's daughter uncovering alarming family secrets have surfaced. Malia Obama has recently taken steps that hint at hidden truths, stirring speculation that she might not be the biological child of Barack and Michelle. I want to thank the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, Dr. Douglas, as well as farmer Joe Hedon, who personally raised this turkey in California's Central Valley. What if Malia Obama's recent decisions revealed something shocking and deeply hidden about the family? Before we get into the details, it's clear that these revelations are more shocking than expected, and this is just the start of more surprises. The Obama family, strange rumors. Imagine a world where every rumor or hint about the Obama family is not just idle gossip but something people believe could hold a hidden truth. In this piece, we explore the strange and surprising speculation surrounding one of America's most famous families. For years, rumors have swirled around her, with some people questioning her gender. This all began with a joke made by a comedian in 2014, but soon grew into a full-blown conspiracy theory spread by internet sleuths and those who thrive on sensational stories. They dug through pictures and videos, twisting them to support their claim that Michelle, a strong and confident woman, was not born female. As the story goes on, a mysterious envelope shows up at a journalist's desk. It looks like it has proof of the rumors about her. The journalist now has to choose, share these secrets with the world or keep them hidden and avoid a huge scandal. These claims go against all logic and the facts of her life, but they continue to spread, helped by doctored images and echo chambers on the internet. For the burden of years in the spotlight, so easily of all that I've done in my life, this theory is not just about Michelle though. It also resulted in former President Barack Obama, with some people making wild claims about his intimacy and their marriage being a cover-up. Even their daughters, Malia and Sasha, are not left out. Some conspiracy theories question whether they were even born to the Obamas, suggesting they might have been adopted under mysterious circumstances, either from Morocco or secretly in the United States. These theories are based on the lack of public birth records and the absence of many pregnancy photos of Michelle, ignoring the fact that a presidential family would want to protect their privacy. Some even go as far as to claim the girls might be clones, part of a secret government project created from their parents' DNA to be perfect children. Each theory becomes more unbelievable than the last, made not to inform but to shock and entertain. Even though these stories have been debunked over and over again by fact-checkers and common sense, they still thrive among people who are already suspicious or biased. But the strangest part, these same people dismiss any proof that contradicts their beliefs as part of a bigger cover-up. It's important to tell the difference between fact and fiction as these rumors continue to surround public figures like the Obamas. The real truth behind what they faced, such as Malia's choice to use her middle name often, shows a much simpler but still important story. It's a story about real human experiences, like dealing with fertility issues, wanting to be independent, and figuring out who you are, that are much more relatable than the made-up stories that get passed around in an effort to give Malia the freedom to make her own choices. Her parents, Barack and Michelle, suggested she go by just her first name. The idea was to help her avoid constant comparisons to her well-known father, a major figure in both American and global politics. While some might think there's a deeper reason behind this, it's really just that she, like any young person, wanted to create her own identity. Dropping her famous last name gave her the chance to follow her own interests without always being seen as Obama's daughter. But this simple decision gave rise to wild theories. Some people believe that her decision to stop using the Obama last name suggests something secretive about her family. They even go as far as claiming this change as proof of hidden truths, like the idea that she might have found out she wasn't really Barack and Michelle's biological child. And we spend most weekends we're staring at each other because somebody's at a basketball game, somebody's at a dance, somebody's sleeping over. We're the last people our kids want to be with, so I think they're conditioning us. These theories claim she discovered this in some dramatic way, leading to tension within the family. In this bizarre theory, people think that her real parents are actually her godparents, close friends of the Obamas. They suggest that because the Obamas couldn't have children, a secret agreement was made for her to be raised by them. According to this story, once she supposedly learned the truth, she decided to drop her last name as a way of embracing her true identity and separating herself from what she saw as family lies. Even though there's no real proof behind these stories, they continue to spread, especially online. Some people who distrust official information are drawn to these ideas, believing there's something hidden in the lives of powerful families. These wild claims are often connected to even larger conspiracy theories, including strange accusations about Michelle Obama and the origins of the Obama children. But the truth is probably much simpler. She's just trying to find her own way in life, away from her family's public role. Still, for those who enjoy creating and believing in conspiracies, every move she makes is seen as a piece of a bigger, mysterious puzzle. And as these stories grow, they become more and more exaggerated, making sure that the rumors about her name change keep circulating. This fuels more sensational claims, and the theories never seem to go away. But the name changed itself. It's probably just part of growing up at the University of Southern California. Michelle Obama shared stories about her daughters growing up from being young girls to now exploring relationships and finding their own way in life. She joked about how their interests changed from loving boy bands like the Jonas Brothers to now dating real people. It highlighted how much they've grown from their childhood into more mature relationships. By the way, I going to publicly thank Malia and Sasha for once again standing here with me during the turkey partner. Barack Obama also looked back on those early years, remembering the slightly awkward dates his daughters had with Secret Service agents quietly watching from a distance. This unique situation sometimes made his daughters feel a bit uneasy, but despite all the unusual things they faced, Michelle said she feels proud of the strong bond her daughter shared today as they've grown into confident, independent women. Michelle credits her parenting style to her own mother, who believed that being a parent wasn't just about raising kids, but about preparing them to be responsible, capable adults. She followed this idea, teaching her daughters life skills that went beyond their life in the White House. She taught them simple but important things like how to make their beds, drive a car, and be caring and independent, even though the public has always been curious about their lives. Michelle believes the challenges Sasha and Malia faced helped shape them into the amazing young women they are today. Living in the White House, while it may seem like a dream, had its own difficulties. The grand home, which symbolizes American history and power, wasn't exactly a typical place for kids to grow up. Still, Sasha and Malia found ways to be kids, playing games and having fun, all while attending formal events and dinners under constant security. As we conclude looking at the strange rumors about the Obamas, we'll now explore how these stories affect what people think and their privacy. Obama's sister's public tragic life. The Obamas worked hard to give their daughters a sense of normalcy. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Michelle said they try to keep things as normal as possible despite the unique circumstances. Before moving to the White House, they lived in a comfortable Chicago apartment, which was much smaller than the massive White House. Moving to such an important place was a big change for the family, but it also gave Sasha and Malia some incredible experiences, like traveling the world, witnessing historic moments, and learning about diplomacy. In more recent interviews, Malia has talked about the valuable lessons she learned during her father's time in office. These experiences gave both her and Sasha a deeper understanding of the world and the responsibilities that come with leadership. Sons out there, I'm not offending you, I'm just stating a fact. Can't beat him. I saw a picture of Sasha. Do they enjoy living in the White House like they can't wait to? Is it like Frozen for them? They gained a mature global perspective. At a young age, Michelle worked hard to protect her daughters from the public eye, ensuring they had privacy in a safe space to grow up. Thanks to this, she and her sister could enjoy fairly normal teenage years. They did regular things like go to school, do chores, and hang out with friends. Even though the whole nation was watching them, still it wasn't always easy. She and her sister are now known for their grace and style during public events, something they credit to their mother's guidance. But more importantly, Michelle taught them to be kind, humble, and confident, qualities they've shown during public appearances and interviews. As they step into adulthood, the world is curious to see where life will take them. The balance their parents found between handling big responsibilities and being there for their kids has set them up to embrace both the normal and extraordinary sides of their lives, helping them succeed in whatever path they choose. She and her sister always had a voice at their family meetings in the White House, even though their ideas weren't always used. Their parents made sure their opinions were heard too. The White House wasn't just a famous building, it was home. Barack Obama once shared that even though they lived in a very political place, his daughters cared more about the small things that made it feel like a real home. A lot of people don't remember as the first black family in the White House. The journey there wasn't smooth. They had play dates, went to school events, and enjoyed family movie nights together. Unlike parents who might not pay much attention to their kids' schoolwork, Michelle and Barack Obama were very involved in their daughters' education. Michelle often talked with their teachers to check on how they were doing and make sure they were doing well in school. One time she even mentioned that her sister missed Barack's last State of the Union address because she had to study for a big test the next day. People on social media praised this choice, appreciating how the Obamas put education first even over big political events. This dedication help her and her sister grow up in a balanced. Michelle also thanked her own mother, Marion Robinson, who moved into the White House in 2009, for helping raise the girls. Her presence gave the girls a sense of normal family life even in such an unusual place. But this wasn't the only surprising thing. Moran, even while living in the White House, stayed independent. She did her own laundry and taught her granddaughters to do the same. At first, when Barack and Michelle told the White House staff to let the girls do their chores, it caused some concern. The staff was used to doing everything for the first family, so this change felt strange, and some even worried about their jobs. But over time the staff got used to it and came to see her and her sister as regular kids, making sure they had private moments away from the public. Michelle and Barack played important roles in teaching their daughters good values and encouraging them to think deeply. The girls often spoke about how much they learned from their father, especially the lessons on kind and understanding that he passed down from his own mother. These values were a big part of their upbringing, but there was one emotional moment that stuck with Michelle. She remembered watching her and her sister, who were 7 and 10 at the time, go off to their new school under heavy security. It made her wonder how their lives in the White House would shape their futures. Both parents supported their daughters in following their own passions, with Barack always encouraging them to choose careers that they loved and that would help others. Michelle, who had her own public role, always stressed the importance of privacy for her daughters. Even though she was a well-known figure, her main focus was being a mother and helping her family during Barack's presidency. Robinson, girl of the South Side for the F, for the past 25 years you have not only been my wife and mother of my children. In her autobiography Becoming, she shared more about her life, giving a deeper look into how she balanced public life with personal goals. Her story not only inspired many but also showed how strong the family's values were and how deeply they cared for one another. In her journey as an ambitious woman, she shares her experiences, offering valuable lessons on personal growth and career advancement. She talks about how her family's strong support played a huge role in her dreams. She also opens up about the challenges and joys of being a working mother while also serving as the First Lady. One of the most anticipated parts of her story is how she handled her marriage, along with her desire for normal everyday moments like walking through a park without being recognized or enjoying a quiet meal in peace. These honest details gave readers a genuine look into her life. When her book Becoming was released, it quickly grabbed the attention of people all over the world. becoming a bestseller and being translated into many languages. The book offers a personal look at not just her struggles and dreams, but also those of many others who could see themselves in her story. She shares her worries about being a good wife and mother, her early struggles with self-doubt, and how she dealt with other people's opinions. The honesty in her writing was praised for its openness, but there was more to becoming than just looking back on her past. The book also hinted at her future plans and her dedication to continuing her personal growth even after leaving the White House. Readers walked away with a deeper understanding of Michelle Obama, often seeing parts of their own lives reflected in her journey as we move from their childhood to their future goals. The lessons and values their parents taught them will surely guide their way. Michelle Hoaring Secret Rise. Michelle's story begins with her early life as Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, growing up in a loving but modest home in Chicago's South Shore. Although they didn't have a lot of money, her family was close-knit. Her father worked as a city pump operator and her mother stayed at home to care for her and her brother Craig. Her father's battle with multiple sclerosis taught her the importance of resilience, instilling in her the belief that no situation should ever hold one back from reaching their full potential. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, where racial and economic challenges were common, she learned early beyond the value of education and perseverance. She and her brother shared a room separated by a simple divider, and it was Craig who later introduced her to her future husband Barack Obama. From a young age, she believed that education was a powerful tool. Her path took her from being an eager student, often underestimated because of her background, to becoming a strong voice at Princeton University and later Harvard Law School. Throughout her academic journey, she fought against social barriers and spoke up for diversity and understanding. Her career mirrored these values. She was the first African American associate dean at the University of Chicago, and her work in the White House reflected her commitment to education. For the Obama's, education wasn't just a way to get ahead in life, it was a core family belief. This was clear in initiatives like Reach Higher and Let Girls Learn. Barack Obama's early years were marked by a multicultural background and a strong focus on academics. He attended Accidental College, Columbia University, and then Harvard Law School. So I thought, when they look back on this time, when they are talking to their kids, and they are like, "Mom, did you ever go to a state dinner?" And they'd say no, I would feel pretty bad about that. So we thought, we're going to invite them to one, and they got to do the where he became the first African American president of the Harvard Law Review. From community organizing to becoming president, his life was a testament to his dedication to leadership and education. Their daughters Sasha and Malia also grew up with a strong belief in the power of learning. Malia explored her passion for the arts, even taking a gap year to intern in the film industry before starting her studies at Harvard. Sasha, after transferring from the University of Michigan, is now studying sociology at the University of Southern California. She surprised many when she decided to take a year off before starting college. This decision stood out especially because her family places so much value on education, but for her this break was about more than school. She wanted to take time to explore who she was, what she wanted to do, and how she fit into the world. Taking a year off like this is common in other countries, but less so in the United States. She saw this time as a chance to step away from the White House and experience the world from a different perspective. One of the key things she did during her gap year was intern in the film industry. She had already tried it out with a summer job on the TV show Girls in 2015, but now she was ready to dive in deeper. She landed an internship at the Weinstein Company in New York, where she learned all about making films, from writing scripts to editing scenes. She got a close-up look at the industry, which might shape her future career. Taking this break from school gave her lessons that no classroom could teach. It was a time for her to learn more about herself and what she wanted as she moved from the structured life in the White House to the independence of college. When she finally started at Harvard, her gap year experiences Leah, and she's like, just be cool, you know, it's like, please don't embarrass me. She looked beautiful, I mean, oh, is she just? Was a vision, is a vision. And Brock's trying not to cry, and he's trying to act like the internships in personal growth prepared her well for her studies in visual and environmental studies. Now as a Harvard graduate, she is beginning to make a name for herself in the film industry. Recently she worked on the Amazon series Swarm with Donald Glover, and she's also working on her own short film. People in the industry are taking notice of her talent. Janine Neighbors, who co-created Swarm, even praised her for being a dedicated and talented writer. At the same time, her mother was dealing with the intense scrutiny that came with life after the White House. Everything she did and said was closely watched, including a comment about American pride that was misunderstood. Despite these pressures, her mother stayed strong and kept living by her famous motto, when they go low, we go high. No matter the criticism. As the Obamas settled into their post-presidency life, they also shared more personal moments with the public. During a virtual interview with Conan O'Brien, Michelle talked about how their family spent time together during the COVID-19 lockdown. At first, being together was great, but eventually she and her sister Sasha got tired of having their parents around all the time. Still, the hardest moment for the family came on May 2024, when Moran Robinson, her grandmother, passed away. She had always been a source of strength and support for her, and her loss was deeply felt by the whole family, especially by her and her daughters. Years after their time in the White House, the Obamas continued to inspire many people with their focus on public service and their ability to stay strong during tough times. Do you think the persistence of such conspiracy theories reflects more on the creators or the believers? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful videos.